Hey everybody, it's Michael.
And Nick.
And welcome to the 18th episode of the Codex Comics podcast. Actually, might as well say it now, I was going to save it till the end. It's the 18th episode, probably going to be the last one for a little bit. We're going to go on a little bit of a hiatus with school and stuff coming up.
We can, let titles kind of, mature in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of been, it's been really fun doing this every week, but, we sit down, we talk about this issue of Superman, and then 2 weeks from then we talk about another issue of Superman.
Yeah, and it's we don't want to spoil it for you.
Yeah, so I think a break will be good. When we come back, we can, by that point, I was going to really try hard not to talk about Doomsday Clock today, but, by the time we come back, we'll be halfway through Doomsday Clock. We can talk about it from up to that point.
Yeah, we can cover, 4 issues or something out of it.
Dark Knight's Metal will have been over. We'll be pretty far into the New Age of Heroes. We might have official word on what Bendis is writing at DC.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Issue 1000 of Superman will be out. So we'll have a lot of stuff to talk about when we come back. And it's not going to just be the same thing week after week. So I figured to get that out of the way now. We wasn't save it till the end, but I figured it fit well there, talking about how this is the 18th episode. So real quick, let's start talking about Avengers 676, the second part of the 16-issue weekly
issues.
Title.
Yep. All right, so we got some cool stuff in this issue. Basically, Voyager, this new character, she comes in and basically explains to the Avengers how she disappeared and stuff. And I love the continuity of this because they put her in certain issues of Avengers that came out. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, the cover. Shows the first Avengers cover.
Yeah. Yeah, she claims...
Pre-Captain America joining the team.
That's right, yeah. Basically, she claims to be in the Avengers up to issue 70 from the old days, almost.
Yeah, from the 60s.
Oh, man. But,
that's really cool.
Definitely. And we get to see the Black Order in this, the minions of Thanos, which was...
Oh, really?
Yeah, no joke.
Well, okay, so here's a sidebar that I was just got done talking about today. Why does Marvel find the need to be these things are going to be in the movies, throw them in comic books?
It's like Infinity Gauntlet. Come on.
Because we're doing Infinity Countdown with Avengers here soon or something.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Is doing Infinity Countdown or whatever.
Yeah, it's come on, guys.
But no, I don't
know.
I think this story is really cool. I remember the tease in Marvel Legacy where they showed the statue, and I think it was, who was it, Jarvis? Was this seems weird. Something's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, he did say that.
Mm-hmm. Which is really cool. It's kind of neat to show that, Jarvis would be, the one to kind of, remember that stuff, because, no matter what, Jarvis is kind of, even if you, comparing Jarvis to Alfred. Alfred's been there through all of it. Since the beginning. He's seen... this normal man has seen, so going back to Jarvis, this normal man has, seen, aliens and Thanos and all this kind of stuff. I think that Alfred's more hands-on with that kind of stuff, more so than what Jarvis is, but, it's kind of the same idea still. He's seen everything that these superheroes have seen.
Yeah. He was in this, he must have got the, crap beat out of him, so he's on a medical bed.
And Jarvis is a character we don't see often, especially because of, what they did in the movies, making Jarvis.
Yeah.
The AI.
Yeah. Normally Jarvis is an actual living person.
Yeah, but we don't see him often in the comics, really.
No, you only see him in, an Avengers title or, an Iron Man title.
Oh, by the way, is Iron Man back yet, or is it still Riri Williams?
It's complicated. Iron Man's there, but he's, kind of a shell of himself.
So who's the Avengers lineup in this book?
Actually, a whole bunch of people.
Do they still do that thing at the beginning? Oh, yeah, they do. That's awesome. I love how Marvel does this.
Yeah. We got Falcon. We got Jane Foster Thor. We got Hercules, Wasp. I think this Wasp is the daughter of...
Yeah, Janet.
Janet and somebody else. I don't know. We got Rogue, Dr. Voodoo, Human Torch, Beast, Wonder Man, Synapsis, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver. And then we got Citizen V, Cannonball. We got a Red Hulk, Iron Patriot.
Oh, Red Hulk.
And then
I don't like what they did with his look.
Yeah, and then then you have Lightning, Jarvis, and then Voyager. Okay. So that's the line.
That's interesting to me, especially because, in Marvel Legacy, we kind of established that, that new generation of Avengers was kind of fading away.
Well, actually, if you read Uncanny Avengers, Captain America, you could see a scene of Captain America and Rogue like talking, and basically Rogue's the leader of the Unity Squad or whatever they call it. And basically Cap's like, I can't be a leader of a team until I get basically straightened out here, and Rogue's like, you're like I always look up to you, and like, do you want to be on this team? And he's like, I'll be on this team just because I save people's lives, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's interesting that like this book doesn't have, like, I mean, the cover shows the original Avengers, but I mean that's not the team that's in the book.
No, there's no Thor, there's no Hulk, there's no Iron Man.
That's really cool. That's actually kind of interesting to me. And I'm sure, but I think probably by the end of this we'll see them fold back in.
Yeah, I wonder if like this new team is going to be the team to stay, or are we going to get all the old characters back?
I figure through Legacy we're going to get all the old characters back. I mean, I think that's kind of been the point of Legacy, is like putting some of these characters back where they should be, and having characters go back to their status quo, but still adopting this idea of Legacy. And Legacy was never Marvel's thing, though. That's always been DC's thing. That's why I think this is weird.
Well, it's like, to fix this, basically, if you want to put the old team back, one, you got to give Thor back his hammer. Like, that's one. Two, you got to bring back Bruce Banner. Like, I don't know how you're going to do that, because Hawkeye basically killed him somehow.
Yeah. Well, here's what I think would be really cool. To do Civil War 3. Hear me out. But we do the I don't want to say the actual Avengers, but like the Avengers that everybody knows, and then we'd have the new Avengers.
I don't know.
Make them fight it out to the death.
I don't know. I don't see that happening anytime soon.
No, I don't either.
Well, and it's like in this lineup, you have old characters in here, like, let's see here, like Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. They've been on the Avengers since the 60s.
Yeah, since their first appearance, pretty much. Yeah, they were Avengers before they were mutants.
Yeah. And you had Captain America, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver. You had Hawkeye, and you had
Human Torch is there too. I know you said that, but that's interesting.
Yeah. Well, there's no Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
Well, actually, the Marvel 2-in-1 might give some answers to that.
Yeah, have you been following that title?
I like it, actually. It's kind of cool.
Is it a monthly?
Yes.
Okay.
You got Human Torch and Thing basically trying to find old work of Reed Richards, and you have Doctor Doom kind of like shadowing in the background a little bit.
Yeah, I don't really touch Marvel books, just because I have too much DC stuff that I want to read. That I still don't even read half of what I want to. But that Fantastic 2-in-1 or whatever sounds actually pretty interesting to me. I'm not a huge Fantastic Four guy, never was, but I think that story sounds cool, and I think Fantastic Four deserves to have a renaissance, especially like Marvel's first family. I think that they need to come back, and we need to see the Fantastic Four needs the respect that they deserve in the comics.
Yeah, I wonder where Reed Richards and Sue Richards are in the cosmos.
Well, so we've established that the Ultimate Universe still exists. Did you see about that? You know how Brian Michael Bendis was doing Spider-Man 2? At the end of it, we revealed that the Ultimate Universe still exists. So I don't know what the point of Secret Wars was.
Well, you got rid of all the other worlds, like Earth X and...
So I like in my mind, Sue and Reed are mapping the multiverse.
Maybe they'll find multiversity and maybe Marvel and DC.
Oh boy. Yeah, let's not do that, please.
No, that would be huge licensing problems and all that good stuff.
So, speaking of some more Marvel stuff, Venom Inc. Omega came out. Actually, let me see that issue real quick. I actually forgot to flip through this one. Yeah, I need to sit down. I'll probably actually trade read this. Because I read like the first issue, the Spider-Man parts. Probably need to sit down and trade read this. But, I'm really intrigued by this whole thing, and I'm glad they didn't try to make it 12, 13 issues, and they kept it to
they kept it short. Like, it needed to be short. It's just, this kind of, I don't know, it's just, it was cool, but I kind of felt left down a little bit. Like, I thought, it was going to be more epic, maybe maybe they're going to fix some bonds, like, for instance, Spider-Man and Black Cat, but you see them going their separate ways in here.
I think that's a little bit of our own faults.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, going with Super Sons of the Super Sons of Tomorrow story, I expected a lot out of that, and it was still a great story, but I don't think it had the repercussions and, like, the earth-shattering events like in my mind I told myself I was going to have. And I think that's kind of our own faults with myself with Super Sons of Tomorrow, and then you and I with, like, the Venom Inc. stuff. I think that we expected this to be, like, crazy.
Yeah.
And then, not that we were let down, it's just we expected more, and, like, that was our own faults.
Well, actually, there is one scene out of this issue I do like. It's at the very, very end, where Eddie Brock Venom shows up to Black Cat's old... At this point, it used to be her criminal empire. Like, her...
Oh, yeah,
hideout.
She became, like, the Kingpin.
But Venom basically says to her, look, do you want to be a criminal the rest of your life? Or do you want to make something out of your life and help people? Like we did. And basically, he kind of refers to himself.
Venom was one to talk. Venom's going to go back to being a villain here and, like...
Well, he says to her, like, don't be a villain. Help people. Be the hero. And I'm like, dude, like, that's pretty cool, I didn't see that coming from Eddie Brock of all people.
Yeah, I don't know. I like I said, I didn't sit down and read the trade of that. Venom's, like, one of my favorite villains of all time.
Oh, yeah, totally.
So, yeah, Venom Inc. was really good, especially being, like, the first big Venom story in a long time. Like, a very long time.
Mm-hmm. Actually, the story I'm looking forward to is the last Dan Slott story, which is... It's
oh, I know.
It's going to be Spider-Man and Green Goblin again, but...
He's going to be the Red Goblin. Or something dumb. He's making a deal with Mephisto, buddy.
Oh!
Now, here's the thing. I'm actually excited, and I'm not a huge Dan Slott guy, but I'm really excited for this arc. Couple reasons. Because we bring Mephisto back to make a deal with Green Goblin. So, like, we bring Mephisto back into a Spider-Man story. That's hinting to me that we might start fixing some stuff.
Something might happen in that, Maybe we'll get MJ and Parker's marriage back.
Yeah, I hope so.
That's top on the list.
And I'm excited to see Dan Slott not doing 100 issue and use Doc Ock again. Issue 600 he used Doc Ock. Issue 700 he used Doc Ock. Now he's using Green Goblin, which is exciting.
Oh, yeah. Well, Doc Ock and Green Goblin are the main two arch nemesis of Spider-Man.
Yeah. But I'm just glad that Dan Slott's not trying to do Doc Ock for a third 100th issue. But no, I'm actually kind of excited for that story, and I think it's kind of a cool way to do something different with Norman Osborn. He's this science guy. He's this... I mean, like, the reason he became the Green Goblin is because of his ingenuity and all that kind of stuff. Well, but to see him turning to a mystical force is interesting for his character.
It's like Doctor Doom, he was magic, or he was science, and then basically there was one point he's like, screw science, I'm just going to magic, and then he basically creates like a magic suit for himself.
And I think it's kind of cool that... I don't like magic in comics.
It gets a little goofy at times. I'll give it that.
Like, as much as I love DC, I don't care for the magic aspect of it, and that's why, like, talking about, like, the TV shows that are on Legends of Tomorrow and, like, that one season of Arrow, they did magic and stuff, and, like, I didn't care.
Yeah. It's basically like Marvel and their cosmic stuff,
Yeah. But I think Marvel actually has a better grasp on mystical stuff. Because you have characters like Doctor Strange. I mean, he hasn't always been like an A character,
I'd say he's more like a B character, But I think now.
But because of the movie and all that kind of stuff,
he's an A character.
DC doesn't really have any magic users that are A characters. I mean, Wonder Woman sometimes.
I wouldn't say she's more magic.
I mean, the lasso and stuff, kind of.
Yeah.
But she doesn't use magic to, like, punch people.
It's like the first couple heroes I can think of are
Shazam,
Zatanna.
But, like, those aren't A characters. Like, Shazam will give you a B character. Zatanna's, like, a C. And, like, I hate saying that, but, like...
Yeah. She's just not in enough stuff. That's the
I mean, like, and, like, Constantine and stuff, too. I mean, DC has a lot of magic characters, but a lot of them aren't pushed to be at the head. Well, at Marvel, I think a lot of their magic stuff is...
You have Scarlet Witch.
Is front and foremost.
Doctor Strange. You have Brother Voodoo. That's 3 of them I can think of.
So, and I think it's kind of cool to have, like... I hope that they're building to something with this magic being... Like, let's have Marvel steer away from, like, the Infinity Stones. Like, let's have something different.
What, like a relic of unmeasurable power?
Yeah, but let's do, like... I mean, the argument with DC, like, DC just constantly does crises.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like, constantly. I mean, like, even Dark Knight's Metal is basically a crisis.
Yeah, it's like, how many times can you blow up the multiverse?
I mean, like, Hyper Time was a crisis, or not Hyper Time, 0 Hour was a crisis in time. So I just want to see Marvel do something different instead of the Infinity Stones, which I know they're building towards right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, hopefully in the wrong one, we could get a cool, like, magic, something with magic or something, I hope.
Yeah, hopefully.
15 minutes is the longest we've ever talked about Marvel.
That's a first. All right.
But Marvel's doing really good stuff right now. And...
Well, when I'm picking up Marvel titles, that's saying something.
When I'm picking up Marvel titles, that'll be saying something.
Well, that'll be saying something over my saying something.
But no, when we first started this podcast, Marvel was at this kind of low point, and then Legacy came out, and now we're building up to something. And that's kind of where we're at now. Marvel's doing some really good stuff that we can talk about and get into.
It's a first when I'm reading X-Men titles, when I'm an Avengers guy.
I'm not, yeah.
Just saying. But anyway, keeping on the magic trend, we're going to go to Zenoscope.
And talking about stuff that we don't typically talk about, we're going to, like, off-the-wall publisher.
Oh, yeah.
Not really off-the-wall, but it's not like Marvel, DC, or even Image.
Definitely. Well, anyway, we're going to talk about Belle, the Beast Hunter issue 1, which... Oh my god.
Zenoscope?
Is Zenoscope. Basically, for those who don't know, Zenoscope is basically a company that they're more focused on fairy tales, like grim fairy tales, you know. This Belle, I'm trying to think, what was Belle in? Beauty and the Beast, was that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Hence the Beast Hunter.
Duh. Anyway, I'm going to describe this cover, because I love this cover. Basically, she's standing there on a rooftop. It's got the Batman feel to it because she's like dressed.
It's very Batman-y. She looks like Spoiler from... Or Batgirl / Spoiler /
I'd say Batgirl, more Batgirl.
I got more of the Spoiler. Was it Spoiler or Orphan from the Detective Comics? Stephanie? Who's Stephanie?
Spoiler. That's Spoiler. Yeah.
I guess, yeah. Now that I look at it a little bit more, it is more Batgirl.
I don't know. It looks awesome.
It does look awesome.
So,
you're right.
But anyway, I was reading this. I'm like, this is kind of cool, you know? So she's a beast hunter who basically goes and kills beasts. Like she kills like a minotaur in here.
Nice.
And then she goes and she kills like a centaur.
That's
in
pretty
here.
cool.
I'm like, what?
That's pretty cool.
And then at like the end, she's gonna fight a kraken. I'm like, what?
That's pretty cool.
But the artwork is actually really nice in here, and it's only supposed to be 6 issues.
Oh, that's cool.
So let's see.
Is that Batcave?
Not quite. It was actually a building.
Okay.
That kind of got
looks like a Batcave.
Boomed.
That's a Kraken. That is a Kraken. You're right.
That's a Kraken.
For those of you, because nobody can see what we're looking at right now, there is a Kraken.
We got multiple eyes. We got tentacles, and it's just grabbing onto the side of a
cliffside village.
Yeah, and it's just crushing it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So, but I do recommend picking up this book. It's definitely a good one. So, but
okay. So I think real quick, let's talk about the new Age of Heroes, DC's new imprint thing. They're coming out with some new characters. We haven't really talked about it because we didn't really know what was going on with it. It's kind of spinning out of Dark Knight's Metal, but I still don't know how or why or what.
It's going to be... They're going to pull a Blackest Night, Brightest Day where they reveal all these characters at the end.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh!
So anyway, the first issue of all this stuff, the first story, character, solo series that came out today, it was Damage #1. Basically the Hulk, from what I understand. I flipped through it.
I'd say more of the Thing, not the Hulk.
Well, but he can change back and forth.
Good point. All right, we'll go with the Hulk then.
So maybe a thing where he's more conscious of it, but he does change back and forth.
Okay.
Artwork's great. Tony S. Daniel.
Yep, he's
beautiful. The cover's really cool. Folds out and stuff. They're all going to connect. But so I know. Let's talk about. I mean, at the end of all these DC books, they're putting previews for stuff. I think this week's was the Terrifics they were previewing.
Yes.
But I know that you and I are both specifically excited for Sideways.
Yeah, definitely. It's really cool how they have this laid out.
His power is like a multiverse traveler, or
well, he can like create portals and stuff, and he can like just kind of jump everywhere.
So like Nightcrawler, sort of, but like portals instead of like just bamfing.
Yeah, well, and he's got a cool suit too. You know.
Yeah, no, he's really cool. Spider-Man-esque, I guess. He's like a teenage jokey kid.
Yeah, you know, like the Spot from Spider-Man.
Yeah. But I know you and I are really excited about this one. The artwork's really cool. I mean, I don't want to say they're no-name people in this book because I think that DC's thing was to put a lot of big names on this stuff. But these aren't guys that I've heard of that are doing the Sideways one.
No.
But yeah, it looks really... I mean, there was like a couple-page preview, and it looks really good.
Mm-hmm. Also,
Brimstone.
Brimstone.
I know. Well, yeah, you're excited about that one too.
I looked into that one. Like, I'm not saying anything bad. It's just I'm reading into it, and it feels like Ghost Rider to me. Like his origin. Like he makes a deal with the devil, and he gets his power out of it. And now the devil wants to destroy. I
mean, that's the thing. I mean, like these last two characters we compared to Marvel characters, and I just think it's hard to have brand new ideas.
Fair enough.
So it'd be fun to see what DC's spin on some of these things are.
Let's see here. We got the Terrifics. We got...
Which is interesting. Some new characters on that team. Some previously known characters.
Oh, yeah, the Terrifics. You got Mr. Terrific. You have Metamorpho. You have Phantom Girl from Legion of Superheroes.
Oh, no way. Wait, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. And you have Metamorpho.
I didn't know there's a Legion of Superheroes person on there.
Yeah.
That's interesting, because didn't they just do away with the Legion of Superheroes? Isn't that why Saturn Girl is at Arkham?
Well, Phantom Girl's powers... Basically, she can go in between, like, reality and stuff. Like, she can kind of, like...
That's pretty cool.
I don't know.
That's pretty cool.
She can go into the negative space of the positive space.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, so, I mean, there's a lot of these new Age of Heroes titles coming out. And we haven't talked about them only because, like I said, we didn't know what was going on. We didn't know what they were doing. When they first announced it, like, I wasn't sure if it was going to be, like, a separate universe... or what was going on, but I mean, with the posters and everything, Batman and Superman are there. I think Batman appears in Damage or something.
I know Wonder Woman shows up in Damage at, like, number 3 or something.
So, yeah, and so now we have a better understanding of what's going on, and it's exciting, because I love seeing new characters.
We could use some new characters, honestly.
Yeah, and I hope that these ones stick around. I think that the only problem is that I think that these characters sort of feel too separate. Because they haven't appeared and stuff yet. They're just starting off with their own titles.
I could definitely see that. Yeah, hopefully they don't, I don't know, like, they go for a little bit and then they quit, you know?
I think some of these characters are really going to stick around for a while. So anyway, moving on to some other stuff that came out this week. So Star Wars 42, is this the last part of the Jedha story, or?
I don't know. I think there's like 1 or 2 more parts to this left.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I can really say.
Superman 39, it's a filler issue, but it's another really good filler issue. Makes you feel good.
It does make you feel good.
It's just a classic Superman story about Superman just being Superman and like selfless and not. He doesn't have to be punching Darkseid to save the world. He can just help out like kids.
Or disabled kids that have had a rough life.
Yeah, and that's what Superman truly is. And I think it's really fun. And people always say that Superman is not a relatable character. And I hope that people pick up this issue and they understand why I love Superman and why Superman has been such an important icon for 80 years. I hope that they can understand that.
Mm-hmm. Alright, well, we got Aquaman 32, which is the next part to this... Basically, War of the Atlantis Throne, if you want to summarize it.
I keep forgetting that's still going on, but then I also remember that Aquaman's only a monthly title.
Yeah. I'm afraid they're stretching this out. It's too long.
Yeah. Well, I think that they're still thinking it's twice a month, but it's only once a month. And they're like, we have like 14 issues of this.
Mm-hmm. But I do have to say, though, the Mira story that's coming out here soon.
I'm excited.
I'm excited for that, too, but... I just have the feeling the artwork inside is not going to be very good.
Who's doing it? Do you know?
I don't know off the top of my head.
I'll have to look. What to look? Because
I have that fear. They always do that. Yeah. You know.
So Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #3. I feel like every week there's a new issue of this. Is it monthly or what is it?
I think the first 2 were monthly, and now they're doing 3 and 4, and then 5 and 6 come out. I think, or something. Cool. Yeah, this was pretty good. You got to see Damian fight Raphael.
Oh no! I'll have to check that out.
Mm-hmm. And Damian was taunting him left and right.
That sounds awesome.
Oh, he's gonna snap.
I love Damian, and I love seeing them actually like use him as like. I want a Batman and Robin title, but like in the vein of like 60s Batman was, where like Robin's always there. Like I want that with like Damian.
I don't think he's going to say holy something.
I hope so. Well, that'll be a lot.
He'll say it in more dirtier terms.
Yeah,
we'll say.
Damien likes to curse.
Yeah. All right. Red Sonja 12. We got Batman 39.
So the next part of Super Friends or something. I don't know. He's teaming up with Batman is teaming up with Wonder Woman.
He's not teaming up with himself.
Yeah.
Maybe in his dreams.
To be honest, that's what the Batman title's been for the last 10 years. Just Batman. Just only Batman. Forget about his whole Bat family. It's just Batman.
Yeah. We got...
so Damage #1, which we've talked about.
We got Doctor Strange number...
384.
384. Guardians of the Galaxy 150.
Which is the final issue of Guardians, right? Yep,
which has Adam Warlock on the cover. It's not Michael Corvin.
See an earlier episode for that discussion.
All right.
Robin Hood the Curse? Is that another Xenoscope?
Yep, another Xenoscope title. We got Robin Hood. Basically, it's Green Arrow, but it's a girl, you know.
Oh, that's cool.
But the thing is, her one eye is like completely yellow, so like she has like this targeting thing.
Okay, that's weird. You lost me. You had me on board, and then I
just broke the glass right in your eyes. I'm sorry. All right. And then we got X-Men Gold number 20, which people that are not reading X-Men Gold, I highly recommend it.
Nice.
So
role-playing games and such.
Well, actually, not really role-playing games. We got card games coming down the pipe.
Cool.
We got Magic the Gathering, Rivals of Ixalan, which is the next set in the Ixalan block.
It lost me. Magic is such a different world to me.
Unfortunately.
They used to play Magic, so I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
HeroClix all the way. However, let it be known that I was going to start playing Magic. But then I found my true love, HeroClix.
Yep, I stopped you on that one.
You did. I wanted to start playing both that same day.
I'm like, no. All right. It comes out Friday, January 19th. This past weekend, I think, was like pre-release or something for it. And then moving on to Pokemon. We got a Pokemon Ultra Prism pre-release, which is Saturday, January 20th at 1 o'clock, and Thursday, January 25th at 5:30.
That's your guys' typical Pokemon night anyway, right?
Yep.
Why is there a Pokemon night, not a HeroClix night?
Well, I basically crowd.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that much. Alright, and then the new Pokemon set, the Ultra Prism set, releases Friday, February 2nd.
Alright, cool. So I guess we're gonna move on to our picks real quick. So I'll let you go first, because mine will be more of a discussion.
Well, you know my pick. I read through my whole pile, and I'm like, anticlimactic. Okay, this was okay. This was fine. I didn't care for that. And then I get to the bottom. I'm like, I saved Belle for last because I'm like, I'm going to be impressed by this. So I read it. And right now I'm playing The Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt, which this reminded me of that. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. But yeah, it's just really good story, really good artwork, awesome cover. If you hate the story, at least buy it for the cover. The cover
is a nice cover. The art's fantastic.
So... But I'll move on to your pick.
All right, so my pick, like always, if Super Sons comes out a week, I'm picking Super Sons. Like Nick was saying about X-Men Gold, if you're not reading it, pick it up. That's what I say about Super Sons. I think that this is DC. This is my favorite DC title out right now.
And the best part is I actually read this one too.
Yeah. I know. I try to get Nick to read it, and he won't, but whatever. Anyway, so, which I actually just realized about the cover. So that's future Damien and future John.
Yep.
which is interesting, because I don't think they show up at all in this story.
Nope.
Anyway, so we open it up, and we go through some pages, and we see Tim Drake as, not Batman, but as the Savior. Long story in the crossover, he took a new costume and changed the name.
It looks much better, though.
Anyway, he's falling through hyper time, and we see some really cool images. So I guess we'll just start right here and work our way around. So we've got the Forever Evil. We see the Crime Syndicate with Ultraman, whatever their names are.
Ultraman, Superwoman, Owlman.
That's all we see. So
maybe Deathstorm's on there.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
So then we move to the Oz Effect, where I think the other thing that thing's really cool is they actually kept the art.
Yeah, they didn't change it.
So we see the Bodegovich, John Kent, Superboy looking at this utopia that Jor-El had created. We go to Perez's beautiful cover to Christ on Infinite Earths with Superman crying and holding Supergirl.
Yep.
We move to Death of the Family. Yes. Death of the Family.
Death of the Family. Not Death.
So what'd you say this one was?
That is the Green Lantern story Sinestro Corps War with Superboy Prime as...
Oh, is that Superboy Prime? Okay.
That is Superboy Prime.
Okay. So then we move to Dark Knight's Metal. Then we have the Elongated Man crying over his wife from Identity Crisis.
Yeah.
We have Parallax Hal Jordan. We have Convergence, which is, again, interesting because I thought DC was trying to make Convergence go away.
Yeah.
Because every time they tell a story, it always contradicts what happened in Convergence.
Yeah.
They're trying to retcon Convergence out of existence.
Yeah, Convergence was really goofy, but...
Some cool stuff. I got John Kent out of that, so I'm always going to be grateful for Convergence.
All you needed was 2 issues. They actually made it into, 9 issues.
Yeah, I know.
Come on.
We have Final Crisis, where Batman was Omega beamed by Darkseid.
Well, actually, that's actually his clone. That Batman's clone that Darkseid made.
Okay, that's enough. Yeah. We don't talk about it. That's fine. Is this... What is this, Green Lantern Corps War, or what is that?
No, that's Blackest Night.
That's Blackest Night, then this is Brightest Day.
Yep.
Now, this is interesting. They put a thing from Flashpoint in here. But they didn't show Thomas Wayne Batman. They didn't show, anything that people would really know from that. But they put in evil Aquaman versus evil Wonder Woman, which I thought's cool. To have that part of Flashpoint in it.
That was the main event of Flashpoint, because they wanted to kill each other.
Yeah, but they could have showed, Thomas Wayne or Flash in the electrical chair or something. That people would really recognize. Mm-hmm. But they went with this. So then we have, what's this one here?
I think that's Blackest Night still.
Okay. And then we move on to the Lazarus Contract.
I have to read that.
I do too.
I got the first and the last part, and then the middle is, non-existent.
And then we have the reunion of Barry Allen and Wally West from DC Rebirth.
Yep.
And then the rest of the issue kind of just goes through the aftermath of the Super Sons of Tomorrow stuff. They vote on whether to allow John to join the Teen Titans, and apparently nobody votes him in, which I think is really weird, because, and Damian raises his hand smiling, and that's awesome. I love when Damian smiles.
See, I have a feeling the team, this was more an emotional decision than an actual concrete decision.
Yeah. The thing is, I thought the team really liked John, so I think it's weird that they didn't vote him on. They always, nag Damian for not letting him on the team, so I thought it was kind of weird.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it was more of an emotional choice.
Yeah. Anything. And then we get to the end, and John's kind of all sad because they didn't vote him on. And Damian comes up to him, and he's apologizing for it, and he calls John a partner, and John replies with that they're friends. And Damian starts yelling at him for ruining it, for ruining the moment. And John apologizes, and then Damian says, "Well, don't be sorry." And I think it's really cool because, in Teen Titans, we actually had the first time where Damian refers to John as his friend. Mm-hmm. And seeing that play out here is kind of funny, and, it's also establishing that, Damian admits that they're friends, in his own mind, but, we're still going to have the same relationship of going back and forth with each other.
Yeah. He's the professional, and then John is, the amateur or something.
Yeah, and, it kind of adds to the whole John is Superman and Damian is Batman thing, where, Batman will never admit that any of these people are his friends. If you look at the Tom King Batman story with Superman and stuff, where the whole time Catwoman is you need to call him, he's your friend, and Bruce I don't have friends.
Well, actually, at this point, he wouldn't know of that Superman. He knows of him, but it's not his Superman. you know?
Yeah, it's just that, yeah.
It's goofy. It's goofy.
Dr. Manhattan, messing with time. That's my reasoning for everything currently.
That's like the first thing. You don't mess with time.
Yeah, well, Dr. Manhattan can. Because he's the puppet who can see the strings. Alright, so anyway, yeah, good stuff this week. Good stuff coming out in the next couple months. But we'll catch up with you guys when that happens. Catch up on a lot of stuff that's been happening in the next couple months. By the time we come back, I mean, hopefully spring break, sometime in March, we can do an episode. Catch up on... Dark Knight's Metal will have been over by that point, so we can talk about that.
Yeah, that needs to end. I'm the metal fatigue at this point.
Yeah, the crossover got to be a bit much, but...
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's been exciting. We'll see you here in probably a couple months to talk about... To cover what we hadn't talked about every week for a while. So, we'll see you then.